All aboard!
Right there. I know, that's enough intro right there. Alright, so let's set it on proper. What's good, though?
What's good, though?
What's good, though? I'm not sure. Should I rip them off this time? I don't know. It's not that. It's only bad when we have,
no, it's not that right.
When we have, like, two lights.
They're built, I'm sorry, guys, but they're built well. Like, you could feel the difference from my Fort Knox to this one. It's like, they took their time with these.
They do, but these are limited edition. By the way, we're basically promoting the company Knockaround, and they don't sponsor us in any aspect whatsoever.
They don't.
But I'm a big fan of their Fort Knox sunglasses. They're affordable. They have a lot of good styles. I don't know what to say. I just like the company, and so they're getting free promotion on my channel.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Even if they don't want it.
I back them too. Well, I like the part that they're from San Diego. I'm a San Diego boy, you know, or man, I should say.
Well, that's right. You were born in San Diego.
Yep. I I didn't even stay there that long, about 3 years, but still, it's enough to rep it. 3 years.
That's why you gotta be born in the area. You don't even gotta be there for that long. You just gotta be born there and be like, I'm from San Diego. Really, I was born there. Because this is a fact.
No,
it's a fact.
Yeah,
it's a fact. Because Will Smith, I feel like the Will Smith thing has been talked about to death. Johnny Depp thing has been talked about to death. I mean,
well, the Johnny Depp, because that one, actually, it was everywhere. YouTube, social media, you name it. And it lasted for like a week, 2 weeks.
What surprised me is that the whole time the whole Ukraine thing was going on, and people, there were more
kind of like being,
dude. Johnny Depp was put on the spotlight, and we were like, Ukraine, what?
Yeah.
Russia's doing what? Like,
yeah.
Literally.
I guess whatever.
But I think that did put it out of the spotlight. It just took it out there. So the next thing I want to bring up is so there's a new superhero movie coming out, right? The Thor: Love and Thunder is I think it's out today in the United States.
Yes, Regal.
And so superhero,
a couple other.
Yeah, a couple. But I can guarantee everything's gonna be packed.
Oh yes.
And so superhero movies are like the thing, right? And I think people nowadays do tend to they're like, you think, how would it be like if there was a superhero or a real supervillain that exists? And it always runs through my mind, like, what if there was a real Joker? What if there was like a real Batman? Or what if there was a real fucking Superman? Like, how would our world really be like? And of course you got TV shows like The Boys, I don't know if you've seen them.
Yeah.
They kind of depict, like, well, if these superheroes were real life, they'd be pieces of crap, you know what I mean? They wouldn't be the best people. They do what's best for them, like any other person.
Oh, yeah.
So, in that show, they depict that being a superhero or supervillain isn't all what it's thought out to be. And so, on my way to work, there's because I walk to work, by the way. On my way to work, there's apartment complexes and there's housing units for like the handicapped people and like disabled people and stuff like that. You know what you're talking about? They're like apartments.
Yeah.
But they're not living assistance, so it's not like they're getting assistance from like nurses or none of that. So you just live by themselves. Ironically, when I go to my lunch I take my lunch like around 9-10 o'clock. There's this guy, and I know he's not all there. I'm not saying he's like mentally handicapped, but he's just like not all there. Like there's something off with him.
Yeah.
And this is what I noticed. So I would be coming back from my break or I'd be leaving my break, and I would see him because, like I said, in between that time, I think he would take off to go to work. And so
he works?
Yeah, he works. So I think he works like as a security guard of some sort, because I've seen him in his little outfit before. And so this is the thing. This is where I come to So this is where I come to my whole superhero thing. This is where it's gonna tie in. So I would see him on many occasions. He'd leave his house, and he'd take out anything from, usually it was a set of keys. So he would take out a set of keys and toss them up into the air and then catch it. Toss them up into the air and then catch it. And toss them up to the air and catch it. And on the third one, he'd be like, and he'd like walk to his car. And then he'd go to his car handle and he'd go, click.
Oh, he drives.
Yeah. See, oh, it's everything. Oh, he's a functioning slow person. So anyway, I said it. Okay. There are people who have mental handicaps that they are a little bit mentally slower than most people, but they can still function. They still can do things. They can drive. They can have a job. Blah blah blah. You name it. They can do it. Mm-hmm. So homeboy can drive. He can think. He can pay bills. But I think he does have a mental health. That's why he has that house and that building. So he has it, but not enough for he can still function. But he has like these tics. I think he has these tics. So like I said, so he'll go to his car and he'll open the door, close it real quick. Open the door, close it real quick. Open the door, close it real quick.
I went to college and I've seen one of those.
Yeah,
not to like put them in a category, but like I've seen people out there like that.
So to me, it looks like he has some sort of form of OCD. Like that's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, I would say that's.
And so ironically enough, one day I was not even on one day, on multiple occasions. He'll reach into his pocket and get a coin, and he'll throw it up into the air, catch it.
And this is all while you're coming back.
I'll walk slower on purpose just to, because usually I have a fast
you're kind of like, making a story out of it.
This is in a way
of if just that one well, I should say more instances.
No, there's more than one
because
it's
like I know the guy.
Yo, dude, trust me. I feel like I know the guy, and I don't even know him. Like I said, I usually have a really brisk walk. Like I'll be like in a hurry, because it's like a 5-minute walk. If I kind of put my hustle in, or maybe 4 or 3. But when he's out there, lean back. Like I just take my time. I wonder what this guy's gonna do today.
Like really,
dude, I'm telling you,
I've probably seen him.
I'll point him out, but on more than one occasion. He'll take out a coin and he'll and he'll throw it up. Keeps doing it, and so you'll see signs of disapproval, signs of approval. Okay, yeah, all right. 2 out of 3. That's what I'm saying. He's like, God damn it, I gotta get 3 out of 3. So when he does that, I trip out because he'll the key thing. He just does it real quick, right? And then he's gone scoopity doo doo doo. But when he does the coin, I know he's like, if I get tails 3 times. Come on, Tails.
It's gonna be a good day.
It's gonna be a good. So he did that to leave his house, and then he did that to get into his car. So he opened the door.
So he has to have that reassurance, oh shoot, I got the 3 tails. Bam,
I'm good to go. That superstition, if I don't do it, my day's not gonna go good. Things are just gonna go bad. Not only is that's OCD mixed in with paranoia, with I don't know, dude. That has to be. This is where I come in. This has to be split personality because this motherfucker's Two-Face. Throw this shit up into the air, dude. That's what I was thinking. So this is what led me believe. If Two-Face really existed, imagine he'd be there all day, bro. Imagine he's on a roll. Two-Face goes into a bar and he's flipping a coin. Should I have a beer?
What if there was a worst case scenario where he's oh shoot, already an hour late, you know what? F this. It's already. I'm gonna just risk it, and then something happens.
Something happens. God, I knew I should have flipped the coin 3 more times. Yeah, that
was on the news or something. So and so.
Sir,
on a rampage or something.
What happened in this accident? How did this occur? Well, I woke up this morning and I didn't get
2 heads and a tail.
I got 2 heads and a tail, but I had to go. I'd already been there for an hour. I couldn't get 3 of them in a row, so I already knew something bad was gonna happen, and it happens. I can guarantee that's exactly how the stupid interview would go.
Oh man!
I just think she'd be like, "What the hell is he talking about?" That's what I'm saying. Imagine being Two-Face. That would be the worst. Because anything, imagine just even trying to pick up a chick at a bar. You're like, should I get a beer? Ding, heads. Oh, yeah, get a beer. Oh, yeah. And you see a hot lady. Oh, man. Should I start talking to this lady too? Ding, ding, heads. Hell yeah. And you start talking to her. Oh, man, should I ask this lady to go back to my place? Ding, ding, heads. Hell yeah. And because you keep getting heads, you're like, everything's going good. And you finally get her back to your place. It's like, Should I engage in sexual intercourse? Bing, tails. Tails. Ah, should I tell her she needs to go home? Ding, heads. Ah, damn it. Why did I get heads this time? Like, it would just be the worst. To be Two-Face has to be the worst. Next to that has to be the Riddler. Imagine one of the rules to the Riddler, because originally, remember, the Riddler everything would come out as a question.
Yeah, well,
it would be like, Batman comes up to the Riddler. Who are you? Well, how would you say that? Like, it would be hard. Like, even imagine a girl trying to hit
scratches his back twice.
I know. He'd be like, I don't know.
It rolls around twice.
I know
what am I?
That would be the worst. Having to constantly speak in question form, like, hello, sir. Welcome to In-N-Out. You said you wanted a hamburger. Did you want onions on the hamburger? Does a bear shit in the woods? Yes. Like, you'd have to everything would be a setup. Like, you'd have to, like,
do you turn on the lights when you brush your teeth?
Yes. Then you'd be like,
do you wipe your butt after you?
You'd be like, sir, what type of drink do you want? What drug comes in a powdery substance? Coke. Like, you know what I mean? Like, got it. Like, it would just be the hardest. It'd be like,
would suck for him, man. If he had those two, or what if he was like that Split? What's that?
Oh, from the movie
Split.
Split, yeah, the guy
what
with
if he had that? Ooh, that would suck. Plus that. Oh man, that's.
No, dude, you can't do that. That'd be doing you dirty, bro. Like, if you had to be the Riddler and Two-Face, like you said, that would be a dirty combination. Because not only would you be flipping coins, but you'd be asking questions the whole goddamn time.
Yeah.
Dude, if I'd be Batman, I'd be annoyed. I'd be like, am I in like the worst the worst DC universe? Yeah. Like, what's going on here? I can't imagine, dude. No way.
Wow. I'm curious to see who it is now.
Would even be even worse. Imagine if the Joker was a real like villain. But every time he spoke, it'd have to be in joke form. Everything he said was had to be a joke. Or it's some attempt at a joke. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would be the worst Joker. Like the Joker that's actually the Joker, just tells stupid jokes all day long.
Comedic.
Oh, dude. Well, they kind of did that in the Joaquin Phoenix version, remember? Because he was like the bad stand-up. Mm-hmm. That just came up to... that idea had been sitting with me for a while. Like... When I caught when I saw that guy, I'm like, oh, villains would be a joke. This would be a nightmare. Like, you know what I mean? All villains would be a joke.
So is it like clockwork? Like, he has to, like, is that...
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you have to stick to your guns, like, if that villain had to have that trait, like, heads or tails for everything. That means Two-Face with a heads or tails, everything. Everything.
No, but the guy, is he like...
Oh, I don't know.
Like, you know, like,
every
single day?
Every time I've seen him, he's done some sort of obsessive-compulsive disorder.
Dang.
Like...
So if it's not the keys, it's the quarters. If it's not the quarters, it's something else.
Well, you have to imagine. I imagine even in public, he has to acknowledge, like, oh, I have to keep my OCD under control. But, like, imagine in his house.
Do you think that, though?
Man.
Well, I mean, you haven't talked
to You tell me,
guy,
this guy, I guarantee, he comes into his house, and he turns on the light switch, turns it off, turns it on, turns it off, turns it on, turns it off, turns it on. You know when he enters his house? He turns the key in, turns the key back, turns the key in, turns the key back, turns the key in, turns the key. You know he's doing everything. Three things in it.
Hate his mornings. Then he would have to wake up at like a good solid 2-3 hours ahead of his, daily routines.
But to think in that, because OCD is like you believing in your superstition like all the time. Like yeah, you got to do this 3 times. Well, imagine because I would say even like baseball players or like sports players who like do like, oh, they got to put on a certain sock or, have a candy bar in their pocket or they always have some sort of stupid superstition where it's like, oh, if I don't do this, we're not going to play good. And then at the end of the games, they're like, sorry guys, sorry, I know we didn't win because I didn't put on my lucky socks. I'm sorry guys, it's my fault. Next time remember to put on my lucky socks. It's like, bro, you sure you don't ride the short bus? No, but it's true. But I get it. I have my superstitions too. We both have our superstitions. Like when something happens, we're all knock on wood.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, those because it's already embedded, like from, I guess, growing up. You know. Well, I mean, it depends on your culture too. You
well,
know,
the one that I
how you're
never,
brought up.
the one I always found really far fetched to believe, even when they first told me, is like I remember like I forget who I was with. I was with a group of people all my age, and we were going by a cemetery, and they all go, and I was like, "What are you guys doing?"
Never.
And they're like, and I'm like, "What are you guys doing?" And then we passed the cemetery, and they're, bro, you didn't know you're supposed to hold your breath when you pass by a cemetery, or else the ghost can suck your soul. Yeah. All right. We're friends? I'm sorry. Jesus.
Oh man. I wonder where.
Then I'd be like, no, you guys definitely ride the short bus.
Dang, I wonder where they got that from. Like,
Yeah.
I've never heard that. I literally never heard that.
Well, what's the one? I know there's one, like, if something happens, you're supposed to toss salt over your shoulder. I've seen people do that one.
What? I have never seen that one.
I've seen the toss over your shoulder salt thing.
The one that always gets me, that me and my wife do all the time, even like dating, when we first started dating, is when, what film did she get it from? When they split the pole, and then they get run over. It was a scary movie.
Oh,
Was that one?
which one?
It was what I want to say. They split the pole, and I could like remember it. And then right when they cross the street, bam, they get hit because they split the pole, and then they were making. I forgot the movie, but
That sounds hella familiar, but
so she always says, "Oh, say peanut butter and jelly." So we say peanut butter and jelly. So that's like her superstition that it always gets me. It's like, oh.
But
Then she had me doing it. It's like, oh, you split the pole. You know,
no,
happy birthday.
No, I do. Damn.
You know.
No, but I do get that though. There are some superstitions where like for instance, I believe in the deja vu. Have you never heard that whenever you experience deja vu, something bad's gonna happen? Like you had, because you're like deja vu. I've heard that one, and it's always happened to me too. Anytime I have a deja vu, I'm like on high alert because I'm like, oh, something's, because it's almost like I don't get them too much anymore. But I remember I used to have deja vus, and literally like shortly thereafter, there'd be like a car accident that happens like right in front of me or some shit. Like it's always something.
I've had that, but it's not like a deja vu, but I've had like dreams to where like I have a dream of a certain thing that's gonna happen, and then I see it not close by, but somewhere far away. It's like, bro, I just dreamt that. Like that actually happened in my dream. A certain someone or something happened. And it's like, what?
Well, you know what's funny? Speaking about dreams, I remember one time one of my brothers had a dream about a plane crashing. And then I thought to myself, like, that's weird because that same night I had a dream about a plane crashing. Like, we both basically had very similar dreams, but from like different angles. You get what I'm saying? But very similar. Because I had a dream like that a plane had crashed right here in the fields. Then he had a very similar dream where a plane had crashed right there. Like, his scenario played out a little bit differently than mine, but essentially the same thing had happened. And there was detail. Remember on the day before, was it the day before 9/11? A bunch of people had reported having dreams of planes crashing.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's crazy. But at the same time, I was like, I wonder if people are just making it up just to be like, like the UFO phenomenon. Like, oh, I saw a UFO too last Thursday. It was like,
and there was 4 of us. We went. I'm kind of getting off topic like we are right now, but that actually happened. There was 4 of us. No. Yeah, 4 of us in total, and you know them.
But what'd you guys see?
We went to like where Pine Flats at. Like before you get there, there's like that river where that bridge crosses.
I've heard of people seeing shit there.
Yeah, we seen. Well, me and Lil Rob and Danny seen it. Perfect, because you could see the sun. It was at night. The reflection of the sun on the moon, and it was bright. So you could kind of like see it. So at the edge of like where like you could see the hill or whatever, there was like lights and you could see them flickering. And that was I'm assuming it was like for like for like
planes and shit. Like
planes or like a tower for like cellular or whatever something. And that was constant. It was red, and you start seeing like yellow, pink, blue. and we're tripping. Me and Danny and little Rob. We're like, do you see that? Yeah. And all you see is just, boom, kind of like a rainbow. Like it just shoot out like straight into the sky, and it's like, okay, so we started thinking like, okay, I know we come from a little town where it's like, well, it's not, you know, reputable or whatever. We're not smart, but
you know what
that
you saw.
defies, what we were taught. We're third, fourth, fifth, you name it. High school.
I've heard stories because that's like when you work with people, like eventually you end up asking those questions like, hey, do you believe in ghosts? Have you ever seen a UFO? And never fails. I've had people tell me that they've been at like an Avocado Lake, Pine Flat, even Shaver, and they've seen shit. And I'm like, what the hell? Dude, and they're even like, dude, I was with a bunch of people, we all saw it. And I'm like, why don't you guys report it? He's like, nah, bro, well, who's gonna... And all of them basically the same thing. Who's gonna believe you? Because everybody has a UFO story. Yeah. Everybody has like, I thought I saw something. Everybody either has like a UFO story, a ghost story. At least that's been my experience. That there's somebody's felt or seen or they've heard somebody tell them a story and they like felt like they were telling 100% the truth. Mm-hmm. But anyways, I want to digress and talk about one more thing before we end because I think how long have we been doing this already? I don't even remember. Probably long enough. It was like at
1:25, so we're at almost 20 minutes.
Okay, so this will be the last subject that I bring up, and it's been getting to me. So I know you go shopping at Costco. I go shopping at Costco. Probably one more.
Yeah, I've seen you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We ran into each other. Yeah. So I have this thing, and I feel so bad. But I know it's so when you come into Costco, like on the left hand side.
Go loops around the samples again.
No, dang, no. So when you come to Costco, you gotta make sure you go this way so you can hit up the sample twice. No, I'm not even. You know, I feel so guilty when you take the sample because they're like, it's right here, right in front of me. Grab a pack. They're delicious.
They do that on purpose. I'm like, they do that on purpose.
So you feel guilty.
Well, not that. So you could entice them, you know. So it's like, okay, that you already put it in their head. They're gonna have to, you know. If they're normal people, you know, they're gonna get it.
Oh, dude.
They're gonna get it.
Every now and then I give in. I'm like, all right, lady, you did a really good sales pitch. I want to buy some. But it's something that I usually like anyways. And I'm just like, this is the way I get away with not getting the sample. This is the trick. So if you go to the sample and you eat it, you go, that's different. That's all you gotta say. That's different. And after that, they know, like, oh, he didn't like it. And so they won't even give you the sales pitch. But if you go, they'll be like, yeah, it's really good. It's only this price. It's only gonna be like this for another week. And you're just like,
I have my kids. I have my own little spiel that I do.
What do you do? Tell me your little trick.
Because I know that my kids don't like it. I know it. Oh, have some. Oh, I don't like that. All right, let's go. So I'm sorry, she sees them, so it's kind of like yours, but I have my kid, so it's like, oh shoot, he's not gonna buy it, his kid doesn't want it, you know, so he has a family.
Oh,
so it's like,
lucky you.
Like, all right, bye.
No, you're just like, my kid didn't like it, but I'll eat it, it's all good. I was gonna buy it for him, but he didn't want it.
Yeah,
he didn't want it. So I guess
I
have to eat it.
So they didn't even bother. Like, dude, where it fails me is when like they do like it and it's like, oh shoot, so it's like, oh man, what do I do?
Yeah, I get two. You're like, oh, I didn't even want to get one.
Yeah, like, but I know they won't like it, and I'll go to that one and it's like, oh, I'll like it, so I'll take them. But then if I see one that they do, it's like, oh shoot, oh, what's that over there?
Oh, but then for sure there's certain samples you always be like, whenever they're doing like the beef jerky sample, get it, and just be like, oh, I'm gonna grab another one for my grandma, and this one for my uncle, and my little brother. You just take four, you're just alone.
Or this. Like, I didn't even know. If you touch it, you have to get it. So it's like, like, oh, shoot. All right, sorry.
Oh, I've done that. I thought, no, I got two more? Oh, I'm sorry.
I've been guilty. You know, I've done that before. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure there's at least another one of me out there that's done that knows that.
No, and the sample people know that who we are. They see us. They probably know. They're like, this is
like, oh shoot, like, oh no.
I better put these in the back. Put these in the front.
Or you just take them, like, no, you gotta take them now. Oh, man.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I guess.
Do you have a little Ziploc bag I might be able to put all these to? A little container? Can you just give me that box? If I touch the box, can I take the box? No, I know how ruthless. No, but okay, the sample people, yeah, that's one thing. No, but the thing that's been getting me lately is how aggressive the salespeople are. They're getting a little bit like, at least that's been my experience.
Salespeople.
You know,
like the AT&T, like Verizon.
There's the Verizon one. There's there's usually like there's like a water cooler guy, or they have the massage chairs.
The solar, and then there's the internet.
The internet, oh dude, the cable service provider. I think one time they had Xfinity and DirecTV were there, and they were like next to each other, and so they were like, oh, DirecTV, Xfinity, and I remember I go, yeah, I have that one, and then the Xfinity goes, Xfinity, I go, yeah, I have that one. I go, I got DirecTV in one house, I got Xfinity in the other. I was just lying. I was like, I don't have 2 houses. But I'll lie to my teeth. And they go, solar? I'm like, yeah, we got an installed government program. I don't got no solar. Even on the way out, they get you. There's a credit card person.
Oh,
there's usually another solar. There's the air conditioning.
I always throw it out like, oh, my credit's bad. They're like, oh, okay, yeah. And it's like, oh, shoot, like, yeah.
You could still apply.
Oh, like, okay, yeah, it's gonna benefit you.
Sometimes it's even worse. Sometimes they got and this is what I'm saying. They're getting really aggressive. Because the last time I went, they had, you know, when you wait in line, they had a lady walking around, credit card, 0% APR, and then on the way out, they had the lady right there trying to do the same thing. Because usually they're like, oh, get a free case of water.
Oh, I seen that. Or like a bag. Oh.
They always try to like entice you to get you. And then what's been getting even worse than that is the voting people that stand outside the WalMarts with the back.
That I can attest to. Yeah, I've seen it where it's crazy. It's like, oh shoot, like they're like really insistent. Like, oh, help me out and this. I need signatures.
I need signatures.
Like where it's like, oh, this is gonna benefit certain program, and if that didn't get you, like, oh, come on, help me out. This is gonna, I'm doing it as a job, and I need signatures. If that doesn't work, and that's when they go all.
But I hate when they trap you. They're like, sir, do you care about babies? And you're like, yeah. Well, this makes sure that babies that are grown up, that are now teenagers, get this. I was like, you just asked me if I care about babies. Now we're talking about teenagers. What the hell's going on here? They'd be like, sir, do you believe that we should stop fires in the mountains? You'd be like, yeah, of course. Well, in this proposition, not only will we stop fires, but we'll make sure we get money for this and we'll get money for this. I'm like, hold up, homie. You started off with 1 point, and now you're like, over here talking about...
It's never one. It's always 1, 2, 3, 4.
And they're like, can you sign this one? Okay, now I'll thank you for appreciating signing this one, but can you sign this one quick? This is just to get the schools more money. And if you sign this one quick, it's just to make sure that we dealing with the homeless problem correct. If you sign this one real quick, and if you sign this one real quick, and by the end of it, you're just like... Damn, boy, you just, and so now,
cool, 5-10 minutes right there.
Guess what I've been saying? They've been going, oh, sir, can you vote up? Be like, oh, man, I'm sorry, I'm not a registered voter in this area. I'm originally from Sacramento. Dude, they just stop. They just stop because you're not from the county. You're just like, I just barely moved here. So I'm not from here. I'm not registered to vote. Oh, okay, thank you for your time. Hoorah!
What if you get that one where it's like, all right, nah, since you moved right here, just register, man.
No.
What if you get that one where it's insistent? What would you do at that point?
I'd be like, I don't know, man. I'm thinking about moving back to Sacramento. I've only been here a year, and I don't know about this place. Oh, what part of Sacramento you from?
Oh, shoot.
The north
Downtown.
side. I know, downtown. Oh, have you been to so-and-so? Yeah. What don't exist there? Oh, I gotta go. No, even worse than that. So the other day, my belt buckle broke. I had like this Batman belt buckle, and I guess I just put too much pressure. But I've had it for years, and so like the metal part, because you could tell it was tacked on. Like you know how they tack it. So the tack broke off. Pah. And so I was like, man, now I gotta go get a new belt buckle. Believe it or not, I went to fashion fair, like to those like Hot Topic type stores.
Oh yeah.
And they even like clothing stores. No belt
Hot
buckles.
Topic? I haven't heard that.
No, well I don't think it was Hot Topic. What is it called now? Spencer's.
No, there's Hot Topic, but I'm saying I haven't
Oh yeah,
Hot Topic.
Oh, it's way different, dude. Dude, they got sex toys up in there.
What?
They got one section that's like sex toys. I was like,
Spencer's were,
or maybe it was Spencer's. I'm not sure.
Spencer's
One
has
of
always
the
been
two.
infamous for that. But Hot Topic,
I want to say maybe it was Spencer's.
I'm
over here, Hot Topic.
Hot Topic is, goth, like all that, anime.
No, you know what? I'm not even sure if I found. No, there wasn't even. So, yeah, I went to a bunch of different stores. The only store I didn't go to, and I think I should, but I don't even think GameStop wouldn't have belt buckles. Nah,
Well,
I don't think so.
well, they have a lot of stuff now. I remember walking on GameStop and there was just nothing but games. Now it's like action figures and like a lot of like toys
the
and
Funko
like
toys and stuff. Yeah,
it's grown. So I'll be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they had it.
No, I didn't go into that. I didn't go into GameStop, but I went into basically like clothing stores. Dude, I even went to as far as to go into like a boutique store that had like some guy stuff, like had some guy shoes and some guy jackets. It's like
it's like those fashion ones. Though.
Yeah, those fashion little things where they got certain things. And I went in there, nothing. So I went to Sierra Vista, then I went to Fashion Fair, and nothing, bro, nothing. And so I was like, you know what, Manchester? And
shoot, I forgot about Manchester.
Dead, dude, dead. Manchester, dude, there is.
Well, since Sears is gone,
dude,
that's why.
That place is. Dude, there's no DQs. There's like just a handful of clothing stores, and there's like this. Dude, that place is gonna shut down.
Well, it's more of the college because there's a college stuff on the upstairs. I don't know if you noticed. Like
yeah, they got that. They rented out all that space.
So
I saw that.
That's a college, so I mean I don't know.
No, trust me. I went upstairs just because I was like, well, there were shops upstairs.
Yeah.
I went upstairs, walked all around, nothing except for that college thing you were talking about. There was that in like some sort of Fresno County thing. And dude, I was so disappointed with that. But there was one guy who did have a belt buckle there. But that's beside the point. What I'm getting to is aggressive retailers. So there's a guy who cleans shoes in that mall. He had
Manchester?
Manchester.
What? Homeboy,
I saw another shoe cleaner and Fashion Fair. He was slightly aggressive. Actually, they both were. Cause I remember the one in Manchester was like, oh come on man, free, you want free clean shoes? And he goes, I'll tell you boss, I'll do both. He goes, you don't have to buy my product, but you give me like a little tip. And I'm like, nah man, I'm good, I'm just kind of like in a hurry. He goes, man, I see you walking around straight up calling me out on my shit. I was like,
you were fishing you already.
Dude, I was like, nah bro, I'm cool. And he's like,
scoping you.
Come on man. And then like, I was like, all right, whatever. And I walked around. And then sure enough, on my way back, I saw these couple coming in from a distance. And I was like, you know what, I'm not stupid and pretend to go into the shop. Because I was like, by the time the couple gets to him, they would have got him, you know what I mean? Wow. And then I would just walk by Scott. So I literally, I had a plan for this guy. I was like,
from the get-go.
Well, because I was like, I went this way.
That's sad. You know what?
No,
that you have to do this in order to like, kind of like blindside them, Just
like, be like, nah, homie.
Just because we're good at heart. We don't want to break, Well, that's the way I'm getting at. It's like, we don't want to hurt your heart, whatever, hurt your feelings and get all that, So we're trying to avoid that situation where it's like, man.
I even was like pretending that. I know this sounds really bad, but I was even pretending to like look into like the shops, even though it's like a women's clothing store. And he was like right there, and he's like, homie. And of course, that's how.
I know you see.
Basically, he's like that guy. I know you see me.
Hear me.
I know you see me. It's like, God damn. So you kind of have to acknowledge it because he's so loud and so like, hey man, come here, man, your shoes look a little dirty. Let me hook you up, man. Let me hook you up. And my first response was like, nah, man, I'm good. I go, my shoes are.
These kind of shoes were like faded.
Oh, the suede?
Yeah, the suede faded.
No, I didn't have.
He has this little paintbrush.
You know what messed up is if I saw him coming, bro, and I had chanclas on, and I just took my chanclas off and was just walking barefoot.
Oh.
Like, yo, homie, don't got no shoes.
I'll polish you. You have
I'll polish your toes. Get in between.
Pedicure. I said manicure. Pedicure.
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 Damn. These food bust out a kid. No, Let's cut it there. I feel like we've gone on way too long. By the way, we're not cutting the episodes into parts anymore. We got a better computer, so we can upload the whole thing without having to worry about like, oh, is it gonna get stuck in the middle?
And that was part of the reason why we're in our little hiatus.
We had it was not cheap. It was not cheap.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to like editing, anything with editing in the name, it's like not cheap. It's from software, from actual, desktop, laptop, you name it. It's something, especially now where it's like so demanding, where it's 4K, and although we're not doing 4K, we're doing 1080s, for you guys, all mobile. But it's gonna be a lot of money. It's like, even to like right now, we're actually seeing ourselves. Back then, we used to have probably like a 2-inch little.
Now we actually have a monitor
Yes.
to where we can see the lighting a little bit way better.
Yes.
Our editing should be way better.
Yes, way better. So
The way it looks, not the actual editing, because mostly me, had to figure out how to do it.
Yep.
So you're gonna notice that the intro is gonna be kind of lacking at first. I'm probably gonna keep it super basic, but I'm gonna build on it. We're gonna build it. That's the way it's gonna have to be, and eventually we're gonna have more guests. We already talked about. So if you don't see Eric, or D-Rock, don't think that he's gone. He's still here. He might be doing behind the camera stuff, and I might just have different. We already planned this. We're gonna have more guests on. I like to switch it up, and we're gonna try and do things different, slowly but surely. This is gonna be the what's good though show. But for right now, it's what's good though. We're posting more.
Yeah. Like, subscribe,
share with your friends.
Yeah, share with your friends. Let us know what you think. Put it down in the comment section. We want to hear everything.
Suggestions,
Yes.
comments. Let us know.
We're gonna build off of that, and get your feedback, and we'll build.
And thanks for if you are watching. Thanks for sticking around. Look at my dog. She wants all the attention. All right, you guys. Peace out. Till next time. All right.
Bye.
Dang, you could hear it in the camera when you said it. So bye.
Sadly, yeah. You know what? Yeah, the ones that don't that do get me, it's the voters. But I'm not those. Those guys are like usually like they're real cool, like the ones inside. But yeah, the voters ones, yeah, you're right. I've seen them, not the ones inside. Costco, but
No, I love the ones. I like it when they have the girl who's like out there trying to sell like. I'm not sure if they really. I remember back in the past they would have them. It'd always be like a really attractive girl trying to sell men's cologne, and she'd be like.
And it reminds me. Sorry, I cut you off. Because I've seen it. That's why I say that the voting one is a hard one, because we both worked at that retail store. I don't want to say it because I'm pretty sure, but we worked there, and there was one instance where they actually went at it, like a customer and that person, the one that was trying to get signatures, and they were squaring out, outside. It was that's why I say, okay, yeah, I know, I understand that part, but like the voters, it's like, wow, it's like.
Well, my whole thing is like, you have to imagine if there's bound to be that
And
guy's.
it was a girl. It was a girl, mind you.
Well,
They were both going at it.
there's always gonna be that one guy, and I hate to say it, he's probably gonna be of Caucasian descent, where you're gonna tell him, you're gonna be like, sir, sign this voting petition. It's to make sure that guns don't get in the hands of the criminal, and then he starts to explain them, and then it's just like, yeah, okay, I see. So you're telling me that this law is going to put up restrictions on my behalf as well? I'm not going to be able to purchase guns? I want you to try and convince me to sign this paper. And so there are always those, I'll sign it, convince me. And I love those guys. When I hear those guys arguing, I feel like going, hey, thanks, bro. Taking one for the team. I can get on with my day without having to say no to this guy. Yeah. Thank you. And I just I want to say that, like, hey, thank you for taking one for the team. All right, thank you.
Like, yeah.
Thank you for being a concerned citizen. Thank you for egging on this guy.
Yeah.
For that, thank you for you having to waste your time, and we can just walk by him and not. And I get it, dude. They're trying to hustle. They're making money off of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I don't know.
What gets me is when they throw that in your face. It's like, oh, come on, help me out, and this and this. I just need a couple signatures. It's like, oh, shit,
It's just,
I know.
it's just
You're
gonna be,
trying to grind.
and then you're on there, so like, it's only gonna be 2 minutes of your day. It's only 2 minutes of your day, and you're like,
I mean, it is, but it's like, if you count all those signatures, like if I go to another Walmart, because it's Walmart based, you know, or I go another Costco, or I go another place, and I go another place, it's like, how many signatures do you need? It's like,
I know there is a minimum amount.
I wonder. Well, check it out. I wonder, would that affect them? No, right? As long as they get the signatures. Like, let's say I go to one, and then do the same thing at another.
And then someone signs it again.
Yeah, like, is it?
Dude, to be honest, there's so many signatures. How
How
many people?
I'm curious to know.
I can almost guarantee they forge signatures. They have to. They just come up. What sounds like a good name? Mike Rodriguez. Okay, Mike Rodriguez.
That would be
Robert
hard.
Thompson. Robert Thompson. Dude, to be honest,
That would be hard though. I mean, where are they gonna get their addresses from? Just random address?
it's called Yellow Books, bruh.
I haven't seen a yellow book in
Go
years.
to the Yellow Book and just.
Well, I mean, now I'm pretty sure it's all, you know,
On the
your
internet?
smartphone or
Yeah.
something. So
But even then, dude, like, I don't know. That's a tough job to try and convince somebody to
yeah,
sign.
I mean that would fall under like sales, right? Because you literally want their signature, so you kind of like pitching at them, like this is what you're signing for.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know. It's
'Cause,
still too rough.
Like sad truth of my old job, that's what it was, nothing but sales. So you're constantly like, hey, I know you need an oil change, blah 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 blah. Get this. And I know you're getting a new motor, but that motor needs a new radiator, or that new motor needs this and this and this and this. Or I know you're getting an oil change, but check it out, you need an air filter, and always sales, always sales, always sales. And you would always get written up.
If you
Oh,
did.
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you do
Oh,
this.
I hated
I
that.
didn't hear you say this, or I didn't hear
You're not. What does they call that? It's there's a word for it, where you have to. Because I remember at McDonald's they would get us for that. So we'd have to ask two questions. We'd have to be like, did you want to supersize any of your meals? No. Did you want a dessert?
Oh,
Okay.
is that why they ask you? Like, because I'm sorry, I have kids, so McDonald's is like kids meals, Happy Meals.
That's
so
what
it's
they
like
do.
They go and then they right when you get to that to order. Oh, would you like to try a new blah 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 blah? And it's like, oh, okay.
They have to. You have to include that promo. Never. In McDonald's was very infamous for that. The managers, because the managers would put on the headset to listen in to make sure you were saying the right thing. Because sometimes.
Well, I mean, yeah, I get it. It's part of the job. I mean, if you're not doing your job, then you're not doing your job.
Yeah, and the manager would just, because the manager can, there's two buttons. There's one button that allows you to communicate between you and the customer. One button is to communicate between you and the manager.
Can you tell if they jump in?
You can tell, because one of them is just for you and the customer. One of them is for you and the manager.
Managers here.
Yeah, you won't. You can only know when they're talking to you. So if you mess up, they'll be like, don't forget to ask them this, and then they'll tell you. But they can hit a button to where they can talk to the customer as well. So a manager. So we actually have all three too, but we're not allowed to push the button where the manager talks directly to the customer, because it opens up all three channels. So you kind of just have to be quiet. The only way you can cancel is you have to hit one of the buttons while she's hitting it, so while she's talking to, because one channel is between the drive-through order taker and the person, one channel is between the manager and the drive-through person, and the last channel, it opens up all channels. So it's like the manager communicating to the customer and you. But you can hit a button to where you are muted, but the manager is talking to the customer. It's crazy, dude. It sucks, dude.
So it's like eavesdropping.
Oh,
It's like,
hell yeah. Dude, and I would take it when I would work nights. I would do voices, and people would trip out. So I'd be like, "Welcome to McDonald's. I'm gonna help you." And they'd be like, "Okay, put up to the very next window. I will get your money there." And they come up to the window, and I'd be like, "That'd be 936." And they'd be like, "Where the fuck's the Indian guy?"
Yeah,
There's the Indian guy. And they show up to the next window, no Indian guy. They'd be like, "Who the hell took my order?" That was the best. But all right.